Hi, today I'm going to show you how easy it is to use Inktense watercolor to paint a background on a rock. The first thing you want to do is to wet the rock a little bit to prepare it for the Inktense. First, using a spray bottle, spray the Inktense to get them wetted up and ready to be worked with. I like to use a round brush in this technique, and you can use it whatever you have. The supplies I used is in the link in the description below. For this one, I am using kind of warm colors, but you can use whatever you want. You can use the combination of the, like in this case, yellow and orange as your base layer. Once it's dry, you can apply another layer if you want. I like using Inktense because the colors are very vibrant and really saturated. Whereas with watercolor, watercolor tends to dry a little lighter and more transparent, and you obviously can't go over watercolor once it's dry because it'll smear and lift up. I like to go over the colors and add a bit of more color while the wash is still a little damp. From start to finish, this stone's background took maybe about 3 or 4 minutes. In fact, all of them after this are just as quick to do. Now this stone is a Santorini stone. The glitter of the stone itself will still come up after the wash is applied. Again, I am spritzing the Inktense to get it a little bit wet. As with other stones, Santorini stone is really very absorbent. You maybe need a little bit more water than you think. Just experiment and you'll be fine. So I like the blue and the green combination, but I wanted to do a little bit of more pop, and it's coming up soon. The good thing with doing backgrounds on stones before you start a project, like, you don't know really what you want to do. So you can have fun doing the wash and then kind of like rediscovering the stone for the first time. Again, you want to prep the stone and the Inktense blocks to get them ready for the wash. For this one, I chose a little bit of green, yellow, and blues. I didn't wet the stone beforehand, so it's going directly on the stone unprepared. This is a kind of an experiment. As I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with the finished background, but in this case, I ended up using it for my Lucky Cat kind of St. Patrick's Day salute. When I do backgrounds on stones, I have no idea what I'm going to turn them into. I'm just preparing for future rock paintings. And I generally like to do maybe 3, 4, 5 different background stones, so I'll always have one on the ready for my painting projects. For this one, I ended up using it for my Lucky Cat St. Patrick's Day salute. And I'll have a card for the 3 that I've used in the end card at the end of the video. Generally speaking, when you want to select your colors for a wash, what you want to do is, one, minimize the amount of or number of colors you want to introduce. An easy rule of thumb is to have the colors alongside of each other on the color wheel. Way, they're more likely to be harmonious agreement and not so in your face clashing. For example, if you want to use a green, you wouldn't necessarily go to red because it would create a brown or muddy color. For this one, I'm starting with blue on a red stone, and then I'm going in with magenta color. It's not exactly close by, but it's close enough to have a nice blend ability. Plus, I like purple and blue and red generally produce a purple, and that makes me happy. With this on, I want to use a little bit more water to see the effects. Remember, painting is relaxing, so just relax and have fun. Looks like a kind of a galaxy going on here. Now comes a fun part, adding texture to the wash. I like to use a paper towel, dab it very often, and create some texture. What do you think? I just showed you. This was the first one I used for design. This was the second one. And I'll do links in the card for the various videos I did on these. Over here for the playlist for my background paintings. Until the next time, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, and remember to paint along the way.